Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Alright, so yeah, today I want to talk about science fiction. I want to briefly scratch the surface why I actually love it so much and why I think it's just an awesome topic basically. So first thing then is of course the definition of it. So it's basically of course science fiction. First thing then I think we need to define is of course fiction, what means fiction, and it's basically just the imagination and it's based on work which is just totally based on imagination, or mostly based on imagination, and it comes from the Latin word which is basically just in form. It's just basically how you would form something. And so therefore science fiction means to imagine how the futuristic science might form our society, individuals, or our surrounding in general. And why do I think science fiction is so awesome? It just, I think, teaches us so much. It just makes us to think big and very unrealistic ways, sometimes even, that we try to find new ways how to stretch how to really set new boundaries for ourselves, to try to break basically the boundaries of science, and also makes us wonder how technology influences us today and also tomorrow and in the coming future. Just in general, and also it just also helps to make accurate future or more accurate futuristic predictions about how the world might change and so on. And cons, wasn't able to speak. Then I want to present one dilemma, which is in science fiction discussed about, or in the science fiction community a little bit. It's just about teleportation and the dilemma which comes with it, and all the in general just the thought experiment. For example, in Star Trek, it's always it's also kind of meme, just being up Scotty kind of thing. And he basically just goes in a teleporter, and then all these atoms are just disassembled at one place, and then just reassembled in another place. But then of course it's the question of course it looks easy in the movie, but what would actually happen in the process, and how could somebody do it? Theoretically, of course, it could be just kind of easy, of course, in the sense of you just need to know every perfect position of one's atom, of every single atom of the body, and then just reassemble it in another place. But what then happens with the consciousness itself? Is he still the same person? What is he then? What would just happen in general? And then also when I think science fiction in general is just very bright topic, and there's just so much to talk about, and it has of course so many applications, if it's now video games or just any novels or movies, whatever. But I just also want to talk about the motivation basically behind it, or why I think it's actually important that we should think about the future and just imagine about it in general. And I think one very famous saying is one very famous book is from Carl Sagan. It's The Pale Blue Dot, and it's basically just a picture from the what was it called again? is it Voyager 1, right? Voyager 1 in 1990, which then took the first picture of Earth, which is like a little bit far away and you can barely see it. Basically, just a few pixels over there. Yeah, and it just kind of shows like just how little basically just that we share just one place, and we only have this one Earth, and we should better think about carefully what we're going to do with the technology it's like we're going to have in the future, and we're going to think about it. Yeah, and this is just like what you basically said. Like, now, just way too lazy to really think. And I think science fiction is really just limited to our imagination, and it's, well, I guess, kind of unlimited. So pretty much is a lot of things, and it just teaches us like how small we are at the moment, or like just makes us know what might be ahead, and like makes us think about what's ahead and how we might approach our future. Yeah, it's my conclusion. Yeah. Okay.